Welcome. This is David Boles, Human Meme. Today's topic, we are our works. We are our deeds, and our works, and our subtleties. People want you to be one thing, when we really are 1,000 things. People want a single reason why something happened, when there are 1,000,000 reasons why something happened. Why are we that way? What in our nature prefers redaction over precision in accepting the big picture? I suppose we are simple-minded in that having a single reason for something is easier to argue for and against, and a wide swath of experience is a muddier, if not more authentic, way of living. And we cannot deal with overwhelming evidence. We want it taught to us simply, at a fourth grade level, when the distinctions and contributions are much more interesting and complex. In America, we have become our jobs and not our dreams. You can test this by asking someone, anyone really, what they do. And they won't give you their hopes or dreams or thoughts in reply. They'll name their job. I am a dishwasher. I am a lawyer. What do? I farm. I drive a car. I don't do anything. I'm unemployed. Sad, right? So defeated. So deflated. When did we become our jobs? Why did we let only our work define us? Is there something in the magical history of the United States of America that we are not our deeds or our prayers or our myths, but only our paychecks? We are nothing, if not a bottom line. It's a sad thing to be not only defined by money, but ruled by it as well. Money is not the root of all evil. The right quote is, "The love of money is the root of all evil." And in America, too many of us are biblically rooted in evil. What if we answered the "what do you do" question in another way? What if we said we were a thinker? Or what if we said we were the purposes of the human heart? Would we be taken seriously? Or would we only be laughed at for not playing the game of one-upsmanship via a bi-weekly paycheck? A nation is in trouble when only one thing defines its people. If you aren't making money and contributing to the tax base, then you are a burden on the rest of us. And we certainly see that sort of harsh exposure against the poor of us, and the children of us, and in the aged of us. Only the vitally young and the middle-aged matter to the middling American and their elite overbosses. And that is terrible news for the embitterment of us. We cannot be our dreams, or our wishes, or our dampenings. We have to always be a rate of return. Here's a task I often give my students, and I've told this story other times here. But a single asking is never enough to toss something and expect it to be caught on the first telling. I ask my students to ask their parents about their dreams. When their parents were their age, late teens, early 20s, what were their dreams? And I asked them to keep the question that simple and that general. Don't ask about what job they wanted or what they dreamed they'd become one day. Leave the question open-ended and thoughtful. What were your dreams? And then, in the way they choose to answer, the dream will be defined. My students always reported back on the dreams of their parents with wonder and astonishment. Every time. They had no idea their parents dreamt about non-monetary things. And they dreamt about inanimate, unassailable things, like finding love, or becoming a good mother, or climbing a mountain, or fighting for social justice. It's hard for some of my students to know the dreams of their parents and the shattering and facing the reality of the lives that their parents currently live. And that leads me right away into my next asking. And we've covered that before too here. But remember, we are still pitching. Here is that second question. What sort of life do you want to have? Students tend to answer that question much more seriously and carefully in contrast to the reality of their parents' dreams against the hard-scrabble facts of the life they are leading. What sort of life do you want to have? It's not a simple thing to answer if you're a serious person. It is complex and meaningful. There are a billion answers to that question, not just one. And that is a magnificent thing. That the entire world is open to you. And you don't have to be where you're from. And you don't have to be what your parents dreamed for you to be. You can be your own undistinguished mess that may even be a blob without definition. Now, if you ask someone who they are and what they do, and they answer with their job description, try asking them in another way. Ask them, what makes you think? Ask them, why are you here with me right now? Ask them, how did you come to have this life you have? Of course, there are easy, monosyllabic answers to all those questions, and we are programmed to answer early and often in our young lives to not disappoint our questioners. But the right person can sense seriousness. And one day, after asking those questions, you might just stumble upon someone who takes those questions not at face value, but at the human value. And that person might offer you an insight into who they really are and who they want to be, and not what they're supposed to think what they're supposed to be. One answer to that question, on the surface, may seem dismissive, but really isn't. I don't know. I don't know is actually a powerful statement because it acknowledges a lack of information and suggests a search for an answer. I don't know is an opening for you. It's an opportunity. And I say unto you, help them know. I don't know urges you to step forward and ask the next question that might help make someone make sense of a bright life in a dark night. Only you will know the next question to ask, because only you are there in the moment with that person getting the answers. We are each other, and we are nothing alone. And in that conversation with each other, we are more than our jobs, and we expand the who of us into the larger realm of deeds and morality and right methods. And we share the learning that becomes us, and we tempt the new depths that will never again be allowed to betray us. Thank you for listening. Be a human meme.